activity happening here, and Quincy's going to be joining us, sitting out here in our lobby with a beautiful view of Noir. So, but we have I'm looking at a giant solar apparatus, some sort of a testing apparatus that they're working on right out front. So lots of excitement happening here at our Aptera facility today. Excited to share everything with you guys. Looks like we have about 54 people on. That's amazing. I'm sure some of you can remember some of the first calls when there were just maybe myself and a handful of other people. So maybe it's nice to be joined by so many other enthusiastic and very helpful ambassadors. Really, really wonderful. Thank you. We'll give us just another minute here. We'll give everyone a chance to kind of get on board, and we can dive right in. Feel free to share in the chat where your name, where you're from, any fun facts about your journey with Aptera. I know you all have some great stories to tell. You're probably also, some of you are probably wearing your Aptera swag. I see a couple of hats. I see Roland's got his, yeah. You have your hat. I'm trying to scroll through everyone. I need to
and my t-shirt.
Yeah. That's great. And then I will just ask those of you to put it on mute, put your computer on mute if you haven't already, unless you're planning on addressing the group, which you're welcome to as we dive into the presentation. Looks like we've got quite a few more people joining. We're up to 65 here, and we'll just give it another minute or two. Very excited to have everyone on board and give you some updates from Aptera. And and if we do, just because we do have a lot of people and we have not muted everyone, so we'll go ahead and if we do hear any background, we might automatically mute you guys. It sounds like we might even have some feedback from our audience. Was that us? Yeah, okay. Oh, this is fun. This is actually one of my favorite parts of of my job. Our CEO, co-CEO Steve Fambro just wished me good luck, and I said, and he said, "You do a great job," and I said, "Well, it's probably my favorite part of my job." So I love being here with you guys, and I love all the energy and excitement and enthusiasm, and I love just being a part of this greater community. It's so much bigger than me and our team, so it's wonderful to have a chance to share it all with you. And I think we'll give it one more minute and we'll get going here. Our numbers are still growing. I'm gonna actually shut my office door, so pause.
Yeah. Hi everyone, Quincy here. As you can see, Noir's right here in the background, and Sarah and I are actually only a few feet apart, although you can't see her on my screen, so we're just trying to make sure the audio doesn't feel or sound very muffled for all of you guys. Sarah, are you getting any feedback from me?
I think Brooke suggested let's go ahead and mute everyone right now. Quincy, if you can go ahead and do that. Or if everyone can please mute themselves, because we are definitely getting a little bit of feedback. So
I think everyone will have to mute themselves.
Okay. Uh-oh. Let me see.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Okay, well, I think it is about time to, not the kind of feedback we want. Funny Bob. All right, we have some great sense of humor out there. That's wonderful. Okay, well, Quincy, thumbs up to getting started. Are we ready to rock and roll?
Good, thank you.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to our September ambassador meeting. And I called this meeting a goal setting meeting. And that's because, we do have some of you who are newer, but we have some of you who have been around for a while. And we're really going to be digging into the details today around how you guys can help. So that's probably the top question that we get again and again from our ambassadors is, hey, I'm here. What should I do? How can I be supporting your efforts? And so we're here today to answer all of those questions for you, hopefully many of them, and give you guys some tactical ways that we can rock and roll. So moving forward, we'll give you a brief agenda. Quincy, if you want to progress the slide forward there. So here's what we're going to be covering for you today. We're going to be giving you a few brief but thrilling Aptera updates. And it's important to me that you as ambassadors have the exclusive. So we're going to be giving you guys the exclusive on some really exciting news that we have not shared with the rest of the team. Actually, could I have, I'm hearing some feedback.
I have the recording of that meeting that I need to get over to Sean.
Let me see if we can mute everyone, you guys. So sorry for the moderation difficulties. I think Quincy's figuring that out.
It might be helpful
Whoever
as a
is
pilot
speaking,
on this one
can you please
particular
mute
program.
yourself? Sorry.
So yes, I'm thinking about
Yeah.
asking for that.
Sorry guys, we're just figuring out here how to mute all.
Who's got Violetta? Oh, that's me. Okay.
Let's see. Sorry, technical difficulties. Here, give us just a second. Hang on just 1 second, guys.
The thing is pretty smooth. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like people were doing it out in school. You people like Superman. Yeah. They have to do it. It's hard to do. They don't know. So get them going. Yeah.
All right, apologize for a few of those technical difficulties. We're going to go through and see if we can make sure everyone is muted here so we can enjoy more of a focused conversation. So thank you. That's much better. So first off, we'll be giving a couple of Aptera updates. We'll then be moving into, I'll hand it over to Quincy, and she'll share a little bit more of some of our goals, our communications committee goals. And then we'll be moving forward and sharing to Audra, and she'll be talking a little bit more about our events committee as well as our government relations goals. And then we'll open it up to, I guess it'll be pretty much a free-for-all with 109 people on board. It's getting a little bit harder to give everyone a chance to share and give updates and feedback with such a large group, but we're gonna see what we can do. I think it's gonna be pretty fun and exciting here. So moving forward, Quincy, if you want to just move to the next slide, and we'll give you a couple of updates here. So first off, one exciting thing as it relates to our ambassador program, we have really been focusing on increasing our numbers and growing our numbers. And our goal for, how many ambassadors we want to have around the world has been 500. So we are almost there. It's been really exciting. From the very beginning, I think some of you may have responded to, I think I sent out an email about 9 months ago and said, hey, is there anyone out there who's passionate about Aptera and would like to help me out? Because I just started at Aptera and I could really use some support. And that started what I, remember as a flood of emails from all around the world. With everyone just being so gracious and enthusiastic and really offering to help. So since then, we've really been focusing on growing our program because we've seen it as so tremendously valuable and because we appreciate you all so much. So we're very close to hitting that goal of having 500 ambassadors, and we're working on putting together more structure, a little bit more structure, and more resources, and really a platform for more collaboration. So that's the next step that you'll be seeing from our organization. Is we'll be creating an ambassador hub directly on our website to make it easier for everyone to connect, to collaborate, and also to share resources. So that will be really helpful. I think right now we have our Facebook group and we have a lot of emails, communication happening, but we'd like to have everything in one centralized place. So we'll be creating an ambassador hub, and that will be helpful for everyone. So Okay, another exciting bit of news is as far as our investing round goes, we have 1,600 investors who have joined our Aptera family in the past few weeks alone. And I know there are many of you who are investors, but if anyone is interested in participating, we are trying to leave it open as long as possible. But as private investment comes in, that could potentially fill that up. So that's another exciting thing. And I am seeing a lot of questions that are coming in. So we'll save those questions. I'll answer as many of those questions as I can as we get towards the end of our presentation today and open it up for a little bit more discussion. And I'll pull some questions from the chat. But I'll kind of get through what we have to share with you today, and then we'll open it up for a little bit more dialogue. So a couple other quick things before we move on. We do have a lot of exciting media opportunities coming up. We had a great segment that we recorded with NPR with our co-CEO, Steve Fambro. So that will be coming up soon. We did a test ride and an interview with Road and Track magazine, which is going to be great. And then, of course, the one that we've all been waiting for, and some of you may know what I'm referring to, but it was kind of exclusive secret ambassador news that we filmed with Jay Leno, and we are very excited to have the chance to hopefully see that appearing coming up very soon in early October. So that's an exciting piece of news. And then next week, we're all taking off. We're going to be shooting our Luna video. And I know that's something you guys have all been really looking forward and waiting to have happen. We're going to be shooting it in the second largest national park in California after Death Valley. And it's a place that's known for its exquisite sunsets as well as its stargazing. So I think you can probably all guess right now where we're going to be heading with Luna, and that's Joshua Tree National Park. So we'll be there for a couple of days next week, and then hopefully capturing lots of stuff, including lots and lots of driving shots. I know that that's one thing that we get asked for all the time from ambassadors and others. So we're going to try to do a lot of driving for you. So we can't wait to share that with you. We're very excited about what that photo shoot will hold and video shoot will hold. And you'll be seeing that very soon. So, okay. Next slide, Quincy. And the big news, this is one thing that I was very excited to talk to you about. We have actually signed a letter of intent to lease a property in Carlsbad. And as you know, that has been one of the unexpected challenges tied to COVID that we've really been facing at Aptera, is finding a location that's big enough to serve as our final assembly facility. So we have almost 80,000 square feet that will serve as our base of operations, and that will be our final assembly location for the foreseeable future. And as you've heard us talking about, and if you've seen any images of our two founders, Chris and Steve, sharing an office, sitting, head to head, and now we have many others. We're really bursting at the seams. So we're actually moving, in addition to our new assembly location, we'll be moving our beta build and development efforts into a separate facility in North County, San Diego, because we have lots of betas that we're working on and we need lots of room. And so we're also going to be moving them into a separate facility. And our marketing team will stay here in our Sorrento Valley headquarters, where some of you have had a chance to tour and see our vehicles, but we'll be here probably through the spring of 2022. So that's all very exciting. There's lots more to talk about. I know that you're probably excited to hear more about what the layout will be of our new facility, what types of things you will be working on there. And so we're going to put together a separate webinar with our co-founders to share a lot more details about that process and what's next for us there. But overall, it's a very, very exciting new chapter for us. We're evolving, we're really pressing forward at an incredibly rapid pace, and it's very exciting. And there's a picture of our new home, and that is not the sign. That is my effort at photoshopping our logo on there, but it's going to look much better than that. But that is going to be that is the actual building that we'll have, that we'll be moving into. So excited to share so much more with you very soon. It's beautiful. It's gonna be really exciting. So last night at about 11:30, I was putting in this slide because I wanted to describe to everyone what it feels like at Aptera right now, because there are so many emotions and it's so much happening. And so I decided that the only way that I could really do that and express that was through emojis. And so here you have it. This is what it feels like to be working and surrounded by this energy and enthusiasm. I mean, you see the teams here. They were here all weekend long. They have been working so incredibly hard, so many long hours. They are so dedicated. And it's just cool to see our entire team. It's like everyone's pushing forward with this common goal. And, there's just so much dedication and drive and, belief in what we're doing. And it's been really wonderful to see how we've been able to attract a team that shares that same vision as our founders. And, even when there were only a handful of us, a year ago, we've been able to grow with the same culture and the same spirit and that same, level of commitment. And it's been really cool for us to be able to see. So that's kind of, in my opinion, how it feels right now to walk in the front door here at Aptera, and as we're growing, really some really exciting times ahead. So great. And now I think we'll kind of move into more of goal setting. Quincy can take over here, but we want to talk a little bit more about how you can get involved specifically, and we can kind of talk more. And then I'm going to pop into the chat right now and check out some of the questions and get ready as we go along to be able to address some of those questions. So with
Awesome.
that, I'll let Quincy take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Sarah, for sharing those exclusive updates. That's definitely something that's really important to us, making sure that our ambassadors are in the know and have a little bit more detail. For example, we haven't even announced our new final assembly facility to anyone but you guys. So very special information. And I can also attest to the really energetic environment that's happening here at Aptera. So really excited that we get to share that with all of you. But moving on, I kind of wanted to get on here with Audra, our customer support manager, to kind of walk you guys through what it means to be an ambassador and the 3 committees that we've already established, and kind of introduce that to the new ambassadors and work through a little bit more of what that means and what we would like our Aptera fans and ambassadors to be able to get involved in and help us with, because like Sarah mentioned earlier, that is one of our most frequently asked questions. We feel humbled and super proud and grateful that we have so many people coming to us and offering their support and help and want to be able to get involved in what Aptera is doing. So since our last meeting on our committee goals, we have developed a brand ambassador goal list, which is actually linked here in this presentation, and we'll be able to share this with you guys via email after the call. It will also live in our ambassador hub that we're building out directly on our website, but we've kind of put together a set of specific tactics with numbers behind them, so you guys can really make sure that you feel that you're making an impact, and making sure that you see Aptera on the road. We've aligned all of these goals with our corporate Aptera goals so that you guys can really make the biggest difference. So I'll just kind of get right into it. The first committee that we're going to go ahead and go over is our communication committee. So the goals of our communication committee are to grow our audience beyond the early adopters. All of you guys have been big fans of Aptera, and our next step is to really just attract new people into the Aptera community, expose them to our brand, build loyalty, and lay the foundation for the next generation of Aptera customers. And that's something that we absolutely appreciate all of your guys' help thus far with doing. Our big goal is to have 500,000 fans, followers, and subscribers across all channels. So that's social media, our email newsletter, people logging into our forum and communicating on our website. And then our second goal is to really keep an engaged and excited audience as we move into the next phases of Aptera's growth. We want to make sure that we are giving all of our community all the information that they need to eliminate any objections and roadblocks. So our main goal there would be to get 700,000 total engagements over the next year. Engagements really mean likes, comments, emails, sharing of videos, all that kind of a thing. And you guys already do a lot of this now. So we're super appreciative of that. And then the last communications committee goal would be to build credibility through coverage in high profile media outlets and influencer coverage. So as Apteras are on the road, we'd obviously like to see high profile media outlets and influencers covering Aptera, reviewing the product. And just as Sarah touched on earlier, we have lots of exciting PR coverage coming up in the future as well. So really just continuing to make sure that we are able to get Aptera's mission out there is super important. And we've developed a couple of different goals for you guys each to hit in working with the Aptera Ambassador Program. So the first would be word of mouth. We'd obviously like all of you to continue engaging and informing and teaching other people about Aptera, which you guys already do such a great job of doing that. But we've created an email template here on the right that you can view, and you can feel free to use it. We'd encourage you to email your friends and family, anyone that you feel would really be interested in hearing about Aptera and why you've joined the program yourselves. The next piece of the communications committee would be to really engage and become a part of the discussion on our website and our forum within our website. So if you're not a part of that already, we definitely encourage you to get on there and participate in that. Becoming a part of the discussion on our forum really can be super helpful for those who are kind of exploring Aptera. It's helpful for us when you guys are replying to other people's questions or concerns, or posting discussions about different topics. Maybe it's motors, maybe it's the frunk, whatever, whether or not Aptera has a frunk, these different kinds of conversations are really helpful. So we encourage you to become a part of that. We also would like to make sure that everyone in our community is able to get the information that they would like to receive from Aptera. So when people are interested in hearing more about Aptera, we encourage you to direct them to our newsletter, which you can actually find the subscription to our newsletter at the bottom of our website. So if you recognize anyone needing more information on Aptera, definitely direct them there. We also appreciate all of your guys' help with flagging any threads or comments that aren't in line with our community guidelines on our forum. So, you know, you guys already are so great at doing that for us now, but as more and more people come online and are part of the discussion, we'll definitely continue to need your guys' support with that as well. The next piece is social media. So a huge part of communications and our communication strategy here at Aptera is through our social media channels. We'd appreciate your guys' help with liking, commenting, archiving, retweeting, sharing Aptera's posts. All of you guys are really already amazing at doing this, but it will help us hit our goals and also spread the word about Aptera. So if you find a piece of information online, on Facebook, on Twitter, interesting, or you think that a friend or an influencer would be interested in the type of content that we're sharing, we encourage you to make sure that those people know about it and are tagged in those posts. I've actually put in a couple different examples here. These are Aptera ambassadors. Rex is in the first one on Twitter. He is super awesome about making Aptera become part of the conversation. So he kind of flags trending tweets that are about, relating to environmentalism or sustainability or solar power or the EV industry in general. He's really great about getting Aptera into the discussion. So we encourage you to do that same thing. And then down below on YouTube, Bruce Nelson is also an Aptera ambassador, and he really helps us with being able to respond to all of the community management that we get across all channels. It's super helpful to us when you guys are able to answer questions before we even get to the post or even get to the question. So you can see Bruce is, letting this user know that Luna is actually an alpha vehicle, and all of this clarifying information is super helpful. So we encourage you to do that. Another piece of the communications committee would be content creation. This really is about creating your own content about Apteras, the EV industry, clean tech, all that kind of a thing on your own platforms, whether it be YouTube or a blog or social media posts. And here's a couple of examples on the side of a few of our ambassadors who are using their own platforms to share the word. We'd also appreciate any of your guys' content ideas for our own execution. So Sarah and I work very closely to ensure that exciting content is being produced and helpful content is being produced. So if you guys are able to submit ideas for the types of content that you think would be helpful to see, that's always welcome. And then the final thing for the content creation part of the communications committee would be to create and submit digital and print marketing materials. I'm gonna mute you, Jim. To create and submit digital marketing materials for your guys' So, sorry. This can be anything from brochures, infographics, postcards, PowerPoints. A lot of this material I find that you guys really need when you guys are telling us what you need in order to be able to better spread Aptera's word. And we'd love for you guys to take the first stab at creating the material, submitting it to us, and then we can kind of work together to ensure that you have all the materials and resources that you need to do what you guys do best. And then the next piece of this would be PR and response management. So being a part of the communications committee really is, being a part of the communications committee means helping us to ensure that Aptera's reputation is perceived highly. And so whenever there's anything negative or incorrect about Aptera in the news, maybe there's an article that expresses the incorrect, specifications on the vehicle, or there's negative social media comments or concerns, or you heard someone's having a support issue on the website, all of those things are, obviously things that we want to address right away. And if our ambassadors are able to bring those types of things to our attention, we'll be able to kind of squash them and resolve those kinds of things as soon as possible. We also have created a communications worksheet where you guys will be able to identify and submit different high profile media publications like newspapers or digital journals or podcasts, as well as influential journalists and influencers in the EV and sustainability space that you guys believe that Aptera should be working with, that we should kind of know about and kind of get Aptera in front of. We also received an email the other day from one of our ambassadors who suggested that we submit an application for Aptera to become part of Fast Company's most innovative companies. So awards like these that you guys think that we should know about, and doing any type of research on these publications, these awards, influencers in our industry, it is extremely helpful. So working through identifying and submitting those through this communications worksheet would be extremely helpful. So that is actually the last piece of the communications committee. I'll pass it off to Audra to kind of go over our events committee as well as the government relations committee. And then at the end of this presentation, we'll go ahead and get all of your questions relating to all of the committees. So without further ado, Audra, I'll let you take it away.
Thank you, Quincy. Hello, everyone. I'm very excited to be here today. It's really nice to see all of you. So it's very exciting for us, and we are definitely growing. I'm so happy to grow with you all. I first want to start off with diving into the events committee, just kind of what's the overarching goal here. So there are kind of twofold. First of all, what events should Aptera try to make a presence at, whether that be speaking or sponsoring or participating in. We'd love for you to bring those to our attention through this events committee worksheet. There's one tab for those specific type of events that you feel would bring a large audience and be important for our voice to be heard there and for us to be represented alongside other electric vehicle companies, solar electric, but we definitely can stand out there. So we'd love to make those our presence known. And if we are unable to attend, we would love for you all to be there and represent us with your shirts and with your brochures, flyers, just kind of talking to people, engaging with the community as much as you can. So for example, if you want to do something locally, you could get involved with your EV association. I did some searches here in San Diego. I was so surprised, by the number that I found, the different organizations in sustainability and just kind of like green efforts, even volunteer organizations. I think it's important that we attend those and make a presence, because it's not just, sitting back, and it's great to watch all of this materialize, but to also be in the action on the ground floor. I think that's very rewarding. So then there's also the larger events. We will be attending Move America. Chris Anthony will be there speaking at the end of September. So that's a big one for us. We're so excited to be there. Hopefully you can watch live, but that is one of the kind of events that we're looking to attend, larger audience, and hopefully garner a big audience and get people's attention about what we're doing in this space. So at the bottom, you'll see a little screen grab of the events form where you can collaborate and just add different events that we should look into. I know Len's been very good about that, even putting his local committee events on there, which is helpful because others can reference it when looking for their own local events nearby. So, and then lastly, we would love for you to tell us about awards that we should apply for as you see them come up. I know some people are really good about emailing us different awards. That's wonderful too. It's just easy and helpful for tracking purposes and follow up when we do, put them all on the sheet. But yeah, either way. Thank you, Quincy. Next one. So kind of alluded to this bit, getting involved in green volunteer efforts is something that could definitely be of help in spreading the word about Aptera. Those people are kind of like-minded and they want to change and help the world for the better. And in the automobile industry, I think there's a lot of improvement to be done. So just, even attending like a cleanup day and wearing your Aptera shirt, taking videos, pictures, and maybe bringing a QR code along and getting people involved and send them to the website. We also just kind of seeking out different clubs and associations, organizations, and maybe branching out to the event organizers and kind of asking, how can I get involved? Or asking your local club, can I present and speak to people and educate them about Aptera and the vehicle and its mission? I think that's also very important. And then eventually, hopefully, it would be wonderful to see brand ambassadors becoming speakers at events, and we'd love to share that with our fans as well. So okay, and so I have a couple of ways we can go about tracking this. So I was thinking, when you're at events, you can kind of gauge the the outcome of it by the number of people that you're kind of keeping track of, the number of people that have attended, like what kind of audience was there, the number of the connections made, or any, people maybe we should follow up with or form a relationship with. I think it's important to note that, and just getting people, sending them to our social media channels, to the website, subscribing to the newsletter like Quincy was speaking about earlier, and some resources we would love. I did see Robin had a question about logos for like a brochure. We do have logos that you can use, and I'll make sure they're in the drive, but feel free to also email us. But we would love to see different, you drafting new like flyers or messaging for presentation boards, sharing those with us, and we can get a resource center kind of, it's going, but I think we can expand and build upon it. And there's a lot of room for growth there. And especially as we're finishing up the beta stage of the vehicle. And so maybe also like scripts for kind of things to say to people when they ask about Aptera. And then an idea I had was creating surveys and kind of engaging with community at events, asking them, did you know, or those type of things that are kind of fun. And we can also get feedback, which we can use towards making improvements on our outreach.
You guys might recognize one of our ambassadors, John, I think in that past one, that past slide, that was John at Fully Charged. So there was probably 10 other images that he submitted of, fans and people, wearing stuff and, kind of really represented there. So I think that's a perfect example of, even if you're going and you're interested and you just want to, build a presence there, just even talking to people. And have you heard of Aptera? I think people get really excited even just learning about our vehicle for the first time. So thanks, John, for representing us there at Fully Charged. That's awesome. Hope to see many other people like you. Also, I don't know if you guys or anyone, I know it seems like there's quite a few of you participating in Drive Electric and some other events that are coming over the next 2 weeks. So all also very exciting. So thanks, Audra.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, by the way, everyone, just a shout out to Audra. She is, as our new customer success manager. I think she's responded to over 1,500 customer support inquiries just over the past 2 or 3 weeks. So it's been incredible. She has, been diving in and just getting to know all of you, all of our, customers, potential customers literally on a first name basis. And so it's just really special. And I think that's something that we hope to continue at Aptera, is having that personal touch and having that personal relationships with you, our ambassadors, as well as our customers. It's something that's just, I think it's really critical to our growth. And so we will continue to hopefully have that personal touch. And if you are emailing info@aptera.us with any concerns or questions, just know that it is most likely Audra behind the scenes who's going to be responding to all of your questions and comments. So way to go, Audra. Thanks for being there.
Thank you so much.
An amazing support for us. We appreciate it.
Happy to do it. It's been great. So then moving on to Government Relations Committee. So a lot of work to be done there, and we are definitely making progress. I know a lot of you have emailed me kind of saying, I sent this many messages. I love hearing that feedback, and I do kind of tag it and share it with our team as we share our updates and kind of progress that the program is making. It's so amazing what you all do and our efforts. I don't think, I think it will lead to a successful, hopefully, tax credit in the near future. So we encourage you to work with your DC lobbyists to increase the political awareness of Aptera and the brand and the 3 wheels behind it. The fact that it's, it's what it's doing for the environment, the reducing our carbon footprint, just the things that we can explain to representatives that will help incentivize them to sign these pieces into legislation and potentially take, almost 30% off the price of the purchase of the Aptera. So we would like you all to be an advocate for future Aptera owners and the environment, leading grassroots lobbying efforts, Many of you already utilizing the draft message to email your Congress people, senators, the committee chairs of it's the committee, the chairs of the committee for the Ways and Means, kind of the people that are putting this EV tax credit legislation together and voting on the final amount that we will be discounted for using towards EV vehicles. So we want you to look into who are your state elected officials, local representatives, who are other people, friends, family, colleagues that might be interested in also becoming a part of this effort. As they say, you know, we do best in numbers. The more people we have behind this, the greater impact I think it will lead to. And so if you can spread the word about Aptera and the EV tax credit, that is very foreseeable in the near future. We'd love you just to kind of spread the word there. I know I'm doing that on my end here. Also, social media. I have actually tweeted a couple of representatives in the past and got an answer on one, but it's good to know they actually do check their media outlets. So just kind of telling them or you know, writing them, sending them a tweet, or even a post on Facebook. You'd be surprised by the people that will look and, you know, feed those things up to that representative if they're of higher level. Not all are, you know, the ones controlling their social media, but definitely goes somewhere. And then also just building relationships with your community. Like I had mentioned, you know, getting involved in clubs or organizations and telling them about the EV tax credit and what it could do for the future owners of solar electric vehicle cars like Aptera or other EVs.
Audra, can I pause you right there, because I think we have one of my favorite people, Dwayne Gibson, I see is on, and I think Dwayne, not to put you on the spot, but if you wouldn't, I know I've seen a couple comments in the chat wondering about the status of, you know, our activation efforts. And so Dwayne, I know we don't have a ton of time, but maybe if you could just share with us for a minute or two on, you know, what's happening, how, you know, is it working? What do we need to know? What else can our ambassadors do? Maybe just to build on that, would be great if you wouldn't mind just giving us a quick update. That would be amazing. And Dwayne Gibson, as some of you may know, is with the Livingston Group. He has a huge team in DC. It's so exciting to see the caliber of the people and the team that he is bringing together that are working on our behalf. It's incredible. It is so impressive. So Dwayne, thank you for doing that. And I'm excited to see all the headway. So maybe you could just give our group a quick update if you don't mind.
Yeah, not a problem. And on the first score, though, I think it's important for people to understand that there is now, you know, starting about a month or a month and a half ago, a super big team here in Washington, D.C., who is working on behalf of Aptera. We have 2 former members of Congress. We have a former White House staff who ran the White House for a U.S. president. We have 3 or 4 former Capitol Hill staff, and we have some people in state government. So we're spanning all of those venues and forums with a federal relations plan. We have even just right before this call, we just got off the phone with Senator Feinstein's top staff and briefed him in on what's going on with the tax credit and what we'd like Senator Feinstein and the staff to do. We've had dozens of calls with other members of Congress and other staff people on these issues that Audra laid out. We do have one primary issue right now, and I think Sarah sent out some communications on that. It's the tax credit, and I'll just give everyone the lowdown on where the tax credit is now. The tax code for 10 years until 2014 had a credit in it for 2- and 3-wheel electric vehicles. It also had a tax credit in it for automobiles. That's 4-wheel vehicles. So the tax credit for 3-wheel vehicles, when there were no 3-wheel companies about 2014, was removed from the tax code. However, we've been successful in adding back in three-wheel vehicles into the two drafts of the current bill, the tax title of what's called the reconciliation bill that Congress is now working on. This is the one that's bound up in the $3.5 trillion budget, 10-year budget, the Biden budget. And we have been successful in inserting three wheels back into the code, into these drafts. The current level that is at is $2,500. So what we're trying to do now is we're trying to increase that to $7,500, basically 30% of the cost of the vehicle, capped at $7,500. That is a difficult task because the overall $3.5 trillion figure that we're working with is going to have to be lowered due to the political considerations on the Democratic side in the Senate. We're trying to increase our tax credit that would be available to all Aptera buyers to $7,500. So it is extremely important. And you may not think you can have any effect on your legislators, but you can. You and all of your other people who are enthusiasts and fans of EVs, if you can get them to engage, and engage means one of two things. It means either send an email to them and tell them that you support raising the 2- and 3-wheel vehicle tax credit to $7,500, or just getting on the phone and calling your congressman and your senators and telling them that. And the specific ask is not just for them to support it, but for them to go to the chairman of the Finance Committee in the Senate and the Ways and Means Committee in the House and ask for it. That's the key. If we get enough people talking to the chairman and the ranking member, and we get enough people talking to the chairman of the Finance Committee, then we can build that critical mass that pushes that credit up. And I don't think there's anything more you can do to get money off your vehicle than to make those calls and engage your networks to do them too. I know there are lots of Aptera ambassadors that have separate email lists of people who are in their world, who love EVs, who are in their club, who love EVs. And it's not just the car credit, it's got to be the 2- and 3-wheel vehicle consumer tax credit. That's money that when you file your taxes goes right in your pocket. So there's a lot of incentive there to do that. It means you go out and get a $25,000 Aptera, and all of a sudden it's only going to cost you, $25,000 less, $700 or $7,500 if we're successful. So I would just say, make the pitch to you all: engage, phone yes, email yes, and use Sarah's and Quincy's and Audra's draft that they sent out as either your talking points or what you modify to send to your member of Congress. Period.
Thank you so much, Dwayne. And I see we have Stacy. I think I saw Stacy on here as well. So we have a couple of our esteemed professionals and colleagues that are helping us out in DC who are joining us today. And I think it looks like a lot of conversation happening in our chat here too. So this is really exciting for me because it feels like a way that we can actually really implement change. And it's very exciting to see what the potential is and how we can actually, really move some of these initiatives forward. So thank you, Dwayne. That's really exciting.
One more quick point. There was just a question popped up that's very relevant about the solar and tax credit on solar. Great idea. And we kind of thought of that, but I mean, our vehicle, we've been working on this tax credit literally for 2.5 years. Before you even knew Aptera was created as a company, Aptera was created as a company, and I've been working on that for them and some other EV companies. And as good of an idea as that is, this thing was already in motion to try to increase it to 7,500. And there really wasn't an opportunity to add the solar component. That doesn't mean we can't do that in the future. And it doesn't mean it can't be modified later if we're successful. But my theory on this is we got to keep our eye on the ball and try to get to 7,500. No confused messages. Get to your Congress people. Not only tell them to support it, but tell them to go to the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee and to the chairman of the Finance Committee and tell them that they want it. The fortunate thing on this tax credit is there is an EV company that's in Oregon. That's where Senator Wyden is from. Senator Wyden is the head chairman of the Senate Finance Committee. So he's very sensitive to this. He doesn't need to be convinced. He just needs to be reinforced that this is important to other areas beyond Oregon. So if you're from California or wherever else, have your senator, have your congressman engage. It will be very helpful.
That's great. Thank you, Dwayne. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you guys for everything that you do for us. And we're looking forward to having, partnering with you on more initiatives and, getting our ambassadors involved in even more ways that are very meaningful. So this is really cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
Okay, Audra, sorry I kind of jumped in there
No,
on you
that
a
was
little
wonderful.
bit. I think you might have another slide or two.
I think we got just one more here.
Pardon me.
No worries.
I saw Dwayne was on, so I couldn't resist the chance to give him the floor for a moment.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so glad you're here, Dwayne. Thank you for that. So then, just kind of, there's the draft email below. We linked it to the things like the third slide here, but we'll send out the link to all of these resources for you after this meeting. But it's kind of exactly what I was stating there, building out scripts for lobbying efforts and sharing best practices. We're going to stick to, this script Dwayne put together because it does, hitting on those points, you can edit it from there. But I do know that this is what he's, as he said, been working on for so many years. So some of the language in there is specific for that reason. And then just kind of networking, building relationships with those who may have influence in policy decisions. And then also, pushing them and encouraging them to call or email their representatives, advocating for tax credits with nonprofit organizations that are working towards sustainability and making sure that they are aware of this happening in DC, getting involved in green volunteer efforts, telling them about it as well, and just locating and sharing environmental initiatives as they come about, because I think it's important that we stay on top of them and maybe even attend them. So thank you so much.
Okay.
All right.
That was good stuff. We didn't leave a ton of time for questions, but I did have some that I pulled out of the chat here. First off, I hope you guys enjoyed getting to meet Quincy and Audra a little bit and hearing from them. We have an amazing team here at Aptera, and they are so bright and they are so passionate, and it's been really great for me to have them on board and to be able to work hand in hand with them, and I think you'll see the benefits of that as well. So I hope you guys had a chance, enjoyed the chance that you got to see them, and you'll definitely be hearing more from them in the future. And okay, couple of questions. I'm going to try to answer as many as I can that I have answers to. And obviously, as you guys know, there's a lot of things that we may or may not have finalized at this point, but I'll be as transparent as I can. And I am working on getting our co-founders lined up for a webinar very soon, so we can really dive a little deeper into our production facility and into timing and into any technical changes that we'll be making. But I can tell you we have some really exciting stuff happening as we're moving through beta. So first, I'll just run through kind of quickly some of the questions that I have seen here. One question was just, how large is Aptera now? How many people do we have in our company? And worldwide, we have now exceeded probably over about 100 people working all over the world, whether it's engineers and partners and people contributing. In our San Diego, our local facility here in our headquarters, I think we have over 35, possibly even getting close to 40 people now, which it's been really fun. It's been, it's kind of crazy. Everyone is a little bit all over the place and on top of each other and squeezing into offices. But it's been really cool to see our team grow and see the talent. And I hope you have been enjoying the Makers series. And that was one of the things, we took some feedback directly from you, our ambassadors. And what we heard from you was that you wanted more of the engineering team. You wanted to see the people who are behind creating our world's most efficient solar vehicle. And so I really hope you're enjoying the Maker series. We've been getting really great feedback about the series and about the videos. And so we do plan to continue that beyond, even what we have filmed already. We're hoping to start to include those and even do, multiple of those, over the next couple of months. So we'll definitely keep you guys in the loop with those and give you a chance to meet some of our amazing engineers too. Okay, I'll address a couple of marketing questions. There's a lot of requests that I've seen, you guys, for collateral for events that are coming up in the next couple of weeks. And we absolutely want to get you whatever you need. I will say that most of our ambassadors have been downloading the files and picking what they want and then getting those, just printing what they want. But if you did want us to try to get something out and send that out to you between now and then, just send me an email. You guys all probably have my email address, sarah@aptera.us or audra@info@aptera.us, and let us know exactly what you need, and we will absolutely do our best to get you some collateral materials. A couple of questions on what can we make? I saw Robin wants to make cookies branded with the Aptera logo, so that would be very delicious and interesting to see. And there's no boundaries as long as you adhere to our brand guidelines. And so we'll make sure that we're giving you some clear guidelines around how should our logo look? What are the correct colors? What is the kind of look and feel? And so we'll make sure that you have the guidelines that you need in order to be able to create those materials. And then as long as you run them by us, I think that's the only thing that we ask is give us a chance to take a look at it before you go ahead and distribute it. And, we can help provide any input needed, but we're, very excited and interested to have, your opinion and be able to move those pieces into something that everyone can utilize. So that's that. I also saw, and I think this is really great, this just speaks to our global footprint. Roy had suggested that we should have collateral in different languages, and we absolutely should. I think that's an amazing idea. And since Roy, you guys have to be, you have to be careful what you volunteer for around here. So since Roy was so kind to suggest it, I'm hoping that he may be able to work directly with us here to, make that happen and determine kind of what would be most impactful and beneficial. But I think that's a phenomenal idea. Anyone who is, who would like to see something like that, let us know, and I think we can work on that. I think that's a great idea. There is a lot of existing collateral if you haven't checked out the Google Drive, and that's what we've been using up until now to store and house our collateral materials for you guys, and that is what we would like to move forward into a new platform. And what we're hoping is that we can have a platform for the ambassadors that's integrated into our existing website that gives you a chance to share, materials and, do ideas and, whatever that might look like. So we are hoping that would be incorporated into our website. So that'll make it a little bit easier. And we know I saw a couple of things around, B-roll, videos, photos. And so we certainly will be doing our best to get more of that to you, and starting next week for our video shoot in Joshua Tree. So again, no one really knows that we're doing that, but it looks like there's a couple of you who live in the area who might even want to come by, and so I'm definitely open to that. Would love to meet you in person. If you guys are in the area, you're always welcome. So give me an email or give us a call and let us know if you'd like to be there for that. Lots of input on or questions in this call around like cargo space and kind of dimensions. So I'm going to have our team revisit if we're missing if we have gaps or we're missing pieces of information around kind of cargo space, and maybe even just showing how it can be better utilized. It sounds like there's some musicians, I think we want to see, or bicyclists actually too. I think someone said, does my bike fit in there? So we'll make sure that we can do more of that type of coverage and more videos like that, so you can actually see, and have a concrete idea of what to expect by the time you get your Aptera. And then also I saw some questions around merchandise. and could we have 100% cotton wearables? And so we will definitely look into that. We had tried to go, the most sustainable way possible with, a blend that is made with recycled materials. But I will definitely have our team look into, doing more cotton, and then also replenishing our supply. So we had just got another shipment. So I think it was Bruce who said, "You're out of everything." And hopefully now you'll see coming soon, at least in the next day or so, that we'll have a new shipment of some of those. And I'd also really love your feedback on that, on our merchandise and what's in our merch store. We continue to get requests for the little mini Aptera models. So I think that will be something you'll be seeing very soon. We did the most amazing recording, you guys, of our Aptera children's book. So some of you might know we had one of Chris's passion projects recently, or for a long time, was this children's book that he wanted to create. And so we did bring that to fruition. And we will be having a children's book that will be in the store, and we're making it into a video, and all of our kids read for the parts of the vehicles and everything in the book. So it's really cool. It turned out really amazing. So keep a lookout for that in the store. But what do you like? What else do you need? What do you want? More shirts with Aptera vehicle pictures? Do you want, what do you guys think? So you are our most important focus group. We absolutely rely on you guys for your input and your feedback. So we, good and bad, we want to hear it. So let us know what you guys want to see. More stickers, that sounds like a great idea. Toys and things like that. Yeah, we definitely want to make sure that we can give you what you need. So, and if you have resources, I'm seeing like Gabrielle's like, let's get some bamboo or organic cotton. That's great. Do we help us and let's find a source for that. Let's find a partner. And so if you guys have suggestions on companies that are producing these type of materials that we could collaborate with, that would be really helpful too. So we see you guys as an extension of our team. I feel like you're all on my marketing team. You are, whether you know it or not. And it makes me feel so good to know that we have you guys out there and we can really count on you. It's incredible. I think it's very special, and I'm very grateful for everything that you do. It's very unique. It's something that I've never seen in any other company or client that I've ever worked with. It's very unique to Aptera. You guys really care, and it means a lot. So thanks. And let's see, in the 2 minutes we have, I don't think, let's see. Yeah, I don't know if there's a lot of requests and questions. What I think we can do is in the next day or two, go through all of these suggestions, and we can really address you guys one to one. But if you have the opportunity to send us an email and you want anything else that you guys want to know, we are so thankful for everything that you do, and it's really working. If you have any doubt, you can look at the fact that we have over 120 people on this call right now. We have an European Aptera Owners Club. What's up with that? That's amazing. I would never have dreamed that you guys would put this together, and I feel really honored to be a part of it and seeing what's coming to life. Really, what you guys are doing, and you guys are making this happen, and it's amazing, and I'm so thankful. So I look forward to working with you all in the future. We are always here. We are very accessible to you. We do want to hear everything. We want to work with you, and it's only just the beginning. So as we're together on this journey, it's going to be, it's a time right now. It's like we're putting our seatbelts on and we're getting ready for some really, really fast-paced times. We're getting so close to the finish line, and it's just going to be a really exciting and fun time. So it's 10 o'clock. I see some really good comments. We'll have to follow up with some of you guys individually, but thank you everyone for joining us. We're so grateful, and we look forward to working with you, answering all your questions, getting to know each and every one of you in the future, and we appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Take care. Over and
Thanks,
out.
everyone.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
Take care.
Thanks everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Good to see everybody.
Thanks so much.